to show you a couple of different things in this next step. Showed you last time that we had a crack here. Just wanted to show you how we put the glue in, and we've got a clamp holding it this way and then holding it that way, so that all the angles of this brake have now had pressure on them while they were drying. So we can take these off. Those are good clamps. They're not too expensive, and if you have a few of those around, that'll help you with your repairs. This one we did with the wooden vise that we put it in. You can see that we've got it so tight you can barely see the crack. The crack was below the drill line, so we're going to use this. We'll put it back in place here in just a few minutes. The other thing is we've got a really big gouge out of the bottom of this table, and it actually shows from the outside edge. If it was back further, I might not take care of it, but where this is right on the edge. So what we've got here is, and I've been mixing up, and you haven't got a very long window of opportunity here, so I've got to get busy on this, is a two-part epoxy. This is the one we like. We've tried them all. They're not all equal. As you can see, it's got a tan and then it's got a lighter inside. You can get them with other colors. It'll always be light on the inside. You can get like a darker, and some medium colors. It'll help you if you're doing a darker stain to use a darker stick. But this is light, and we'll stain it up anyway. So the idea is to mix this until it all looks like it's one color. And get yourself a nice putty knife, fill it into the hole, and then get it as clean as you can in that hole. And overfilling's better than underfilling, because you can sand it down. You can't, it's hard to add more to it, so at this point you want to get as much in there as you can. And of course it's not going to work perfectly for me, and it never does, so if you end up with this kind of problem, you just have to keep trying to get it in there. It doesn't want to stay, but if you keep working with it, you'll get to that point.
Like it the opposite way. Yep.
There you go. That dries really quickly, and we'll sand that just like we will anything else when we get to that part of it. And it'll stain up and finish just like the rest of the table. The other thing is this is a piece of 120 sandpaper. My favorite way, Dad taught me, is to fold the paper down the middle, rip it in half. You want a piece of paper that's going to fit your hand. You fold it in half again, flip it in to that half line, and that way you always have paper on the rough side, not sandpaper touching sandpaper like this. If you do that, you wear out your sandpaper too fast. So you get two fresh sides here, and then when you get done with that, you flip it like that, you get two fresh sides there. It's perfect the size of your hand, and when you use a orbital sander or any kind of sanding machine, you have to finish to get your sanding marks the machine's put in with a hand sander. But this is pretty quick. We're going to do the bottom first, because you always want to end your hand sanding on the top, so that there's no marks on the top from being put top side down. You're going to sand with the grain. You're going to go really slowly, and if you've got a lot of sanding marks, you want to keep your sandpaper fresh. So you're going to switch it back fairly often. It'll make a big difference. If your sandpaper gets worn out and you keep using it, you almost polish the wood. And to that point, you won't take the stain the way that you want it. So depending on how you want to stain, depends on what you're going to finish. I want this to go fairly dark, I think, so I'm gonna do a 120, and then I'm gonna do a light 220 just to finish it off and hope that the stain will go in. It's a soft pine type wood, and it should take the stain fairly deeply. Thanks for watching. Show you when it's all ready for staining. That will be our next step.